My first intention is really to show you a bit about what Altri is and how we can relate innovation, sustainability, and growth. First, where we come from, Altri is one of the largest companies in Portugal. We're basically an industrial company. So we're a B2B company. We don't sell products to the end consumer. So we take forest plantations that take wood as our main raw material. And basically what we do, we purify wood to its intrinsic value of the cellulosic fiber. So people start to think about us as a paper producer. We're not a paper producer. We just produce the raw material that's necessary for paper production. But we also sell products, for instance, for the textile. Polyester is a fossil-based textile fiber. Our products is the raw material for the production of sustainable, biodegradable fibers. Such as skins are made of cellulose fibers, and we sell cellulose fibers for the production of resources casings. Sponges, things like acetates and filters. There's a lot of products where our industry belongs, and we are in close contact with the end consumer, even though we're an industrial company. So we export a lot of our pulp products all around the world. So of course, we're mainly producing in Portugal. We sell it from Portugal to Europe, to Africa, and to China. We are the largest exporter to China in terms of value from Portugal. And that's related to our products that we produce at Caima for textile fiber applications. In terms of our industrial footprint, we have three main sites in the center of Portugal, so Selby, Biotech, and Caima, and they sit nicely into the forest plantations in the middle of the country. And of course, our main raw material is wood, and we utilize certified from FSC and PFSC. Typically, we use eucalyptus plantations for producing our pulp, but because of our activities mostly forest-driven, we also foster the exploitation of conservation areas. So we also try to bring the natural forests that we have in Portugal, and we try to do that even more as we move along. So natural woods, cork, oak, all of the other species that you can find in Portugal. In terms of the sustainability practices, I will not dwell in too much on our sustainable development goals because my focus is to show some of the cases that we're working on, but of course we have those. But as far as we are in terms of assessment from external entities, I think we believe we're on the right path. In terms of the cluster of pulp and paper companies, we're now ranked the top sustainable company in the world. So that means that if you compare to North American companies, South American companies, Nordic companies, and even Asian companies that are the references in terms of production of this type of products, we rank the first. In practice, we have based on forest plantations, and forest is our main ground for production of raw materials. We have a lot of initiatives going on Altri's diversity program, which is the name of the program for forestry conservation and forestry sustainability. So beyond the plantations that we need for the raw materials, we're also trying to improve the origin of the wood in terms of being more certified, but also trying to increase the areas of conservation. We manage around 90,000 hectares of forest plantations for production purposes, but we also have already 10,000 hectares just for conservation purposes, and our intended goal is to increase to double that until 2030. Another example of sustainability relates to our industrial practice. Renewable energy is of paramount importance. 94% of the primary energy that we use comes from renewable sources. And we have a latest investment in one of our mills, which is the mill Caima, where we now are fueled by 100% of primary energy from renewable sources. And that's the investment on the biomass boiler that we have. So now coming from the last topic, which is innovation and how that relates to sustainability. I'm reading this book, which is Growth, Daniel Susskind. So basically he reflects about how economical growth in the last 50, 100 years has pushed it into progress and has come a lot with a lot of benefits. But of course, at the same time, came with a lot of costs. And we already heard about the environmental costs. And now he argues that there's two extreme visions of what the future could be. So either we focus on the benefits and keep pushing on the economical growth that we have had since the last 50 years, which is as is growth, or there's the opposite line of the direction, which is basically, okay, let's not focus on the benefits, let's focus on decreasing costs. And that means degrowth of the economy. But this assumes that economical growth and environmental costs, they're linked together. But that cannot be the case, and we need to be a bit more innovative. So we need to decouple economical growth from the impacts on the environmental costs. And to do that, basically, we need to focus on green growth. So growth that does not have environmental impact. And the way to do that is to look at economic, technological innovation. So a couple of examples with the things that we're actually doing right now. Altri, being a cellulose pulp producer, is already looking into integration into sustainable textile fibers. And we're talking about using cellulose, which is a biodegradable material, producing a biodegradable textile fiber that we can use, we can recycle. And on top of that, we could even envisage a time where we can use recycled cellulose, recycled cotton, or recycled lyocell fibers, which is fibers that we're trying to produce. produce. So we have projects ongoing in that direction with making partnerships with a lot of technology centers to do just that. Also, water footprints. We have always had a priority to minimize the water footprint on our mills. Altri Group is the total world benchmark in terms of water usage. We're better than the Nordics, better than Americans. We are the top #1 company in the world that uses less water for producing our pulp. We try to use the waste that we produce in our mills and try to recirculate it back into our systems to minimize the use of resources, producing more value with the same input. Another example of circularity, we have side streams, chemical side streams that we can find in our mills. So these are two examples, acetic acid and furfural. We're trying to extract those from our side streams instead of treating them in an effluent plant. And by doing that, minimizing the environmental impact, but also increasing the economical value of our streams. Finally, also in a reflection, going forward for the opportunities. And this is a question mark. We don't know if this is an opportunity. It depends on the technology innovation, depends on the economical part of as well, which is carbon dioxide. Talking about direct air carbon capture, we have the best technology already, which is the forest. So we are forest producers, so we have the forest to capture that carbon. But also we have the pulp mills. So the industrial component where we can concentrate that carbon in our mills. And if we capture the carbon in a more effective way, then we can link it back to the renewables, to the green hydrogen that comes along with it. And with that, we can also envisage a world where it could produce more value, either being that with e-fuels, with the green chemicals, or novel applications altogether. Would that be the future that we can harvest? We don't know. We're looking at it. And I think it's a very compelling case to look for the future.